Okay, so a quick disclaimer here. A lot of the stuff in this video is a joke, okay? Follow the law, respect the law. You can challenge it, reform it and shit, but follow it, okay? Alright, done. And okay, I have said so multiple times that on this channel that working for someone is not really a good idea. I don't really trust cities or the economy or whatever. I think a day will soon come when supermarkets are empty and shit. Okay, and I also believe everyone should own land and make some kind of small business from that, a sustainable small business. I'll discuss what that means later. You are not free until you do so. Use money to become independent of money. And a quick note before we start, on YouTube, you can find many university educated people who actually got into farming and they make a pretty good living. They used to live in the city and then they slowly started their own business. It's called homesteading. It's basically like farming, but you're not being exploited, I guess. And I know throughout history, farmers have been getting fucked over, but the point is to be a landowner, right? You're not a peasant, you're more like a landed gentry, but you still work on your land. So you're not exploiting anybody, nor are you being exploited. It's about being independent and self-sustainable. Right, whatever. I think the world is ending. I think the economy will choke everyone out by slowly firing people, right? More and more people will get fired. Jobs will get fully replaced. During COVID, there was no food in the stores. Please watch my video, but whatever. Point is, you can either cuck yourself for a boss and always have the threat of being fired, take shit from the boss, work overtime for free. You get what I mean. Your boss will your boss will say something like, hey, can you stay over and do this for 5 minutes? And it's like a 30-minute thing. I think the land model offers more freedom, survival, and monetary gains. Yes, it is hard, but guess what? So is climbing the corporate ladder. All right, now let's get into our customer base, right? There are two types of people. Okay, there are the rural people who chase brands. These are like your poor people and shit who spend money retardedly. And then there are rich people who chase nature. Tap into the nature chasing market because land in the rural areas is cheaper, right? And then you market it to people in the city. Very basic hack, I guess, right? You run your business in a cheap place and you sell in an expensive place. You can do this virtually anywhere. I think Europe has cheap places. India has cheap places, US has cheap places, you get the rough idea. And the idea is to keep your business small and unique. And then from there, you scale up if you want to. We are not an industrialist, okay? The idea is not to produce 1 million liters of milk per day. The idea is to produce, I don't know, special goat milk and turn it into soap and sell it to like a unique customer base. You are trying to give people a unique experience. There needs to be social links in your business as well. You need to know your customers in and out, and people need to know you as well. You want to be locally famous, not globally famous. Small business, high quality customers, albeit in a smaller number than, I don't know, a business like a big business like Nestle or whatever the fuck. But again, you'll make a lot of big money for yourself, right? And I just want to make a quick note on the attention economy. This attention economy has made tech fully retarded and useless. Tech Lead, Tech Lead, actually made a pretty good video about this. Even if your app has a cancer curing algorithm in it, it simply cannot compete with the titties on TikTok. Social media goes viral every day. Your app will not even go viral once. You know what I mean? There's no point being good at math anymore, weirdly enough. There are massive tech layoffs everywhere. Millions of hardworking, overqualified immigrants from Russia, Poland, India, wherever, man. These are the people you have to compete with. You just don't stand a chance. And I just don't see why you would do anything like this either. Why compete with the fucking best, brightest, most willing to enslave themselves in the whole world? Opportunities exist in another field. Now, I'll make a quick detour here and talk about trade, right? If you can do something where you repair shit like aircon units or whatever, you have a trade skill. Aircon, plumbing, electrician, shit like that. You do a job and you get paid immediately, preferably in cash. This is a direct business owner to customer relationship. Money piles up quickly when you do this. There's a story about a foreigner who came to Singapore, learned how to repair aircons in like 2 months, and then essentially made $1 million business. Okay, maybe not $1 million, but he's pretty damn rich. Now, what we are going to talk about in this video is you sell a differentiated product. In a place like India, selling a completely perfect competition won't really work. Because in a place like India, at least you can still get high quality food. Maybe in the US you could do it. But the thing is, you want to sell something that is slightly unique. High quality organic eggs won't really work. Okay, maybe if you're in the US it'll kind of work, but in India people can still kind of get good food anyway. But exotic vegetables in a place like India will. So one thing I'll say right now is find out what stage of development your country is in. Roughly, if it is like mega developed to the point where industries take over everything, then yes, you might make a good business selling high quality eggs. But you get the point, right? Opening a restaurant, resort, hotel in India will not work because there's just too much competition. But opening a special farm stay retreat with some weird stuff will. I'll talk about this later. Marketing will also be a huge part of this, along with paperwork. And by marketing, I don't mean necessarily social media. I mean developing deep connections with a good customer base. We want high quality customers, not millions of shitty ones. All right, let's begin the first idea. Cigars. Easy one, but also hard one. Remember how I said you should market a unique, niche, differentiated product? Well, cigars are the perfect place to do that. Drew Estate is the story I'm referring to here. These guys started the Acid cigar line. Okay, I don't want to nerd out about cigars here, but it's basically tobacco leaves with a unique flavor in them. They use herbs and whatnot to do it. Now, you don't have to be as successful as them, but the idea exists. And trust me when I say these guys started small. I think they were like college frat brothers or whatever the fuck. And they started messing around with cigars, finding out what creates a unique flavor and whatnot. And now they are a mega rich business, big business. Point is, experiment with something and figure out something unique. And if you can promise people a good cigar that is locally produced, again, market it, right? Hey, this is locally produced. This is high quality, right? When people know what they're buying and the person who made it, they will kind of want to pay more because they can literally see the quality. And this is not available to everyone either. Make a name for yourself in a business like this. Experiment, make something unique, and build some kind of brand. Maybe not a cult brand like Apple, but you are a business. And land. Again, tobacco grows on land. And on that land, you can also do shit like grow eggs for yourself or whatever. Self-sustainability, small business. And again, land is the key here. All right, the next idea, pretty expected, I guess. Beer brewing. I think you can do this in a basement, so technically you don't need land. Enter competitions, brew beer, refine it, make it unique, fuck around with the hops or the fruits. Okay, I don't know how beer brewing works, but you get the point. There's actually a video game called Beer Brewing Simulator. Why not do it in real life? And again, the investment for things like this, I think it's, if you have a house and a basement and a car, I think you can get started for less than $1,000. Okay, next idea, exotic vegetable farming. I think I talked about this earlier. Not exotic butters, okay? This is not FNAF. Fuck off. Similar story, but this time you don't have to invent a new cigar or invent a new business or touch tobacco or anything like that, okay? Just pick up something that already exists. Exotic vegetables. Now, if you have land and chickens and shit, your land will be naturally fertile due to chicken compost, meaning the quality of vegetables you grow on that land will be excellent, but they'll also be seasonal, so that's the trade-off. And again, there is a market for exotic vegetables all the time, especially in a place like India where you have a vegetarian population and shit. Combine this with like saffron or some exotic spice on a regenerative farm where you have elite soil, your product will be worth a lot of money. And yes, farming is a part of all of these ideas. There is always some food involved in all of the ideas I listed. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket, but put a lot of them in one basket, I guess. Or cigars, tobacco. Don't be an exclusive tobacco farm. Again, be smart. This is the difference between a peasant and a gentry like yourself, sir. Exotic animals is also a good idea if you can think of it. There's a story about pigs in India. A family bought pigs, bred them, and sold high quality pastured pork. Pastured basically means it's like the animal is allowed to run around wherever. So the pigs lived a good life and they tasted amazing. All right, next business, pretty obvious, I think, but dog breeding, right? This is another business that is picking up in India a lot these days. As incomes increase, people start to chase novelty. I suppose you could do this in Mexico as well. Oh, and by the way, consider moving to a cheaper area. And when you do, don't be stupid about it. Don't move to Mexico and then get killed, okay? You get the point. Consider it. Dogs shit out 6 puppies at a time. It's called litter. This is not a joke. And if the parent dog, the dam or the sire, the dam is the female dog, sire is the male dog, won in one of the competitions of the dog shows, the puppies can be worth up to $5,000. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of competition here already, along with industrial breeding practices, which is just fucking disgusting. But you get the point. There is an opportunity here. Don't focus on quantity or market share. I know it seems contradictory, but focus on quality and uniqueness. Do not focus on having a lot of customers, but focus on having a few high quality customers who understand quality, right? If you go to McDonald's and you try to sell high quality meat, none of the fat bitches there are going to want to buy it, right? So don't entertain to the masses. It's about staying in a niche market. under everybody's eye. And if you become big, well, good for you, I guess. You do not want to dominate the market and become a monopoly. I mean, if you do, you will need huge amounts of initial money. And you'll have to become some kind of scumbag, the dog breeding example. What I'm saying is get involved in a community, start breeding in your house, and you can scale as much as you need to from there. Maybe don't scale up too much. Depends on what you want, I guess. And it depends on what the business allows. This is how small businesses work. All right, next idea. Homestay with special retreats. Now, this is the part where we get a little memey, so I'm going to give my disclaimer again. This is a meme. This is a joke. Don't take it too seriously. For fuck's sake. If you can give people in the city a nice, clean place to retreat to with nice toilets and modern amenities in some kind of countryside, like Belgaum, which is a place in India, or I guess, I don't know, pick a rural part in America, I guess. You will be rich as fuck. Trust me, people like to run away from the city. Go to the city, make some rich friends, and okay, maybe not rich. You get the point. The upper class-ish. They'll pay you a lot of money if you can promise them a good product. Combine this with like farm fresh food, like a farm fresh bed and breakfast, and add something special off the books. That, what I've written over there, is very easy to make. Magic mushrooms grow for free. People in Texas literally forage for this shit. Coca-Cola is hard to grow, but it can also be done. Mushrooms are easier to grow, and spores are legal nowadays. You can even take prints from Kerala, which is a part in India. You can take prints from another part in the country. I'm using India as an example, but you get the rough idea. Rural-ish place, cheap land, but you install good facilities, and you put in some special shit. I'm just kidding. This is illegal. Don't do this, but you get the point. A funny point, right? Keeping things illegal incentivizes people to make them. Cocaine is about as difficult to make as sugar, but it costs twice as much as gold. Think about that. Right? Again, don't do this shit. You'll get involved with shit, people. It's a fucking joke. But one thing I do want to highlight is in Texas, this already happens. It's called ayahuasca. There are special religious retreats, religious quote unquote, where people literally do ayahuasca, and one night can cost up to $400. There's lots of screening and stuff you have to go through as well. Very special community, and you can make a lot of money doing that. Become a sleazy dickhead. Don't get into this business. It's a joke. You get special retreats, farm fresh food. All right, next idea. Conclusion and some questions you might have. Now, okay, these ideas aren't easy. If you stay in a place like Singapore, you are just fucked. It is impossible to own land there, impossible to start anything of your own. And yes, each of these ideas have downsides. Vet bills. All farming comes with vet bills. Dog breeding, right? What if people don't buy your dogs? What if you're a shit dog trainer, I guess? You have a lot of skills you'll need to learn. What if nobody comes to your homestead resort? How do you network? And all of these questions, I just want to ask you other questions as a counter argument. What if you get fired? What if your job gets replaced? What if you cannot find a job? Yes, mixing and matching cigars is hard. Building a network is hard. But over here, your chances are still higher. You will have peace of mind. Your work will be hard, but you're working hard for yourself. None of these ideas are easy. But do not use your faith in universities or cities or companies or whatever as a counter argument. Faith in the status quo is not an argument to the suggestions I'm making. Uneducated village Indians, Ghats is the technical term for them, actually do some of these ideas, and it works. US Congress is giving grants to farmers because the industry is dying. The average farmer today is 60 years old. Think about that. An evergreen industry that is dying. Opportunities exist here, and I think you should consider it. That is what I'm saying. And I've given some weird, quirky, unique ideas in this video. And another question people will ask is investment costs. Okay, how much does a dog cost? How much does land cost? How much do I have to save up to start? Now, to this I reply, how much does your degree cost? Bitch. Just kidding. Some people get started on farms with as little as $600. They literally fucking order chickens and start selling eggs to family and friends. This guy owns half an acre pig farm, and his yearly costs are like $3,500. Is he a millionaire? No. But he has peace of mind, he has his own land, and he doesn't take shit from the economy. So, I mean, I guess go check this guy out. You're going to have to do a lot of research. That's another point, right? Which leads me to my next question. What do I do? And this is probably the most important part. Yes, I have not given you concrete instructions here because truth is, I don't know how to make cigars. I don't know how to process a pig. I don't know how to build a house. I don't know how to do plumbing. I don't know how to do any of these things, right? It is difficult. But with the internet, You would be surprised what you can learn. And here's another thing, not just the internet, make connections, make friends, okay? And yes, do shit. You will have to make mistakes. You'll have to do trial and error. And yes, you probably won't be a billionaire, okay? But guess what? You probably won't be that anyway. But you will have land, you will have food, and you will have a cool ass lifestyle. After all, isn't that the point of money? All right. And the last question is similar to the other one, I guess. How much do you save up? When do you start? This is another interesting question that you have to analyze on your own. How much do you have already? Do you own a house? Do you have a plot of land? Do you know somebody who has a plot of land? Can you get a good price on the rent? Right? You see the point. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go into this and learn as much as you can. That's the whole point. If you have the opportunities to save up money because you have a really good current job, then fine. Stick with that a little bit and save up as much as you can. The more you have at the start, the easier it becomes, right? Imagine being able to buy a nice plot of land at the start. Most people can't do that nowadays. That's just true. And most people I've mentioned did not start from level 0 either. They often started with a house, and some of them even had a whole family to support them. They had a very supportive wife. They had some kind of job already in the city. And this is a number you will have to figure out based on your own circumstance. And again, do research on whatever idea you want to do. You'll figure it out like that. But if you have a house already, the lowest number I found personally was $600, and they started a pasture chicken farm in the US. So these are some funny ideas you could look into. Yes, are they memey? Yes, they are memey and whatnot, but hey, the ideas are there. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.